Okay, now you have your component modeled and you want to prepare it for cutting on the laser cutter. So first of all, make sure it's the correct size. You got to make sure all of that has happened and you build it correctly and so on. But what we need is a drawing file. So we're going to now go up to the document menu and create a new drawing from the design. It doesn't matter at this point if there's only one component, whether you're doing the full assembly, visible only, or what you want to select. Then you can select that drawing to pick one component at a time. So if we do that, we'll pick one component. Under drawing, you're going to select create new. And then under templates, if you've installed the DHS templates, you can use those, but it really doesn't matter. Even if I go from scratch, it's going to ask you, do you want ISO in millimeters or American standard units? That doesn't really matter. And then it's going to ask for the paper size. So either 8.5 11 by 11 or A4 is the 210 by 297, either portrait or landscape. So that doesn't really matter because all we're doing is creating a blank sheet of paper with just this line drawing on it. So we're going to say okay, and then that's going to open up the drawing. We need to make sure that we're looking at what needs to be the front view, and we want to be 1:1 scale. Okay, so just kind of pop that in the middle of your piece of paper somewhere. And then what we want to do, if you pick the wrong size paper, of course, you can change the sheet size and have a bigger or smaller sheet. It doesn't really matter because the only thing that's actually going to get exported is the line drawings here in a second. And the title block, we can hide that. And then if we just click at the border, right click and delete the border. So now we just have a plain sheet of paper with our line drawing, and we know that it was modeled correctly and we brought it in 1:1. Then we'll output this to a PDF sheet and say okay. When we output that, it's going to ask us to save it somewhere. And then this is where you're going to need to download it, or you could even navigate to the share folder. But we're going to call this Yoda Snowflake. Don't just call it Snowflake, because then everybody's going to have the same file name. Put your initials with it. So this is going to be called Yoda Snowflake, and it is a PDF. I'll click Save. And even here, I should probably save my Yoda drawing as well. Okay, once I have the snowflake saved as a PDF, then I can navigate to my downloads folder. And there is Yoda Snowflake with my initials on the end. And I need to find that file and upload to our share folder so that it can be prepared for printing on the laser cutter. All right, so that's what we need to do to get a blank PDF line drawing for the laser cutter.